Good evening, everybody. This is Heather, also known as Hetty, from Alive in Me on Twitter, and you'll see me also on Epilepsy Cures. You'll see me on Facebook, a little bit of here, a little bit of there. The whole wonderful word for trials that everybody just loves. And why I ever say trials to triumphs is I'm sure people have issues ever understanding, like, why do you ever say that? I personally know that and say that because the triumph through it for me, and I know for so many that, I actually know in person, is actually finding Jesus, or actually some just reawakening who actually knew him but just turned. But as I've said before, I had never known anything. I was talking to someone earlier today and just kind of asking, this questions of like why, basically, how, but why do you remain positive, through all the medical stuff that I do go through and all the issues medically and abuse and so on and so forth, that I have gone through. And it's just like, well, number one, in the beginning, back in, 02 and 03, it all brought me to find him. And then now, we're whether or not, you're going to church, whether or not you even know Jesus, all of us, every single one of us here goes through trials. All of us goes through stuff. We all have hard times. And the most amazing thing that you'll read left and right, over and over, is exactly why, God sent him, is for us to give all of that stuff to him. And, he's there to bear all of our burdens that, we give to him. Granted, we're still going to be going through it, but he's definitely going to make it a lot lighter in the fact that we keep that faith and keep trucking through, knowing that he has these, plans to use them for his glory. And when I, started actually doing that, so many more amazing things, started trucking through. And I can't sit here and say everything was just like, oh, perfect from there on, but it's just that he really lightened that load because I gave that load to him. And I'm just like, I know you have a reason. And perhaps it's not tomorrow that everything's going to be well. Maybe not next year or 3 years or 4 years or whatever from now. And maybe this third brain surgery, maybe it won't be perfect. But I do know that, in some way, shape or form, he is going to use it again as he's used all this other stuff. And I've been able to at least turn and twist and see amazing ways in my perspective that he's been able to use it in amazing ways, for his glory. And that's only the way that I can see it here on earth. And now I can't even imagine when I go up, when I get to see him face to face and ask, what all did you use it for? And how much more he really does use it for than we even know, and that will flabbergast us. And it's just amazing because, the biggest blessing out of it all, when I was really going through the tough stuff after my ex beat me and, overdosing, that was gonna fix things. And then I started going to church, but while I was going to church, my daughter, so young, so little, so 2 years old, she really, really, was more comfortable because they're so moldable. That's why it always says in the Bible to be childlike. They're so moldable, and they just love him. They run to him. They just, wow. When they start hearing that, it's like to be childlike. And I can totally understand now because I remember, when you've grown up the one way, but then you're trying to find Jesus and you liking it, but it's still, you lived in this, other way of life, for so long. And so it's just like, well, I don't know how to like talk to people or really present that, I'm all about Jesus and stuff. Get the bumper sticker or, and, but I'll never forget, it was, I'd been going to church, learning more in 2003, and we took her to the doctor. I took her to the doctor. I was a single mom, and she was just turning 2. It was her 2-year-old. It was for her 2-year checkup, and she just goes straight to her Middle Eastern doctor, and I honestly, I mean, I know his reaction shows, I know he's not of that faith, but, being Middle Eastern, you can be today, especially here, of any faith, but it was just pretty amazing. But she just confronts right away. She walks into the room and says, "Did you know that Jesus died on the cross for you?" And I'm just like, let's continue, and that's just how, we get to be. And it's just like, whoa. And the same goes for her today. I mean, she's so strong in faith. And this is just like she's 8.5 now. And, I'm just, my husband's like, are you going to tell her about the, your surgery, your 3rd brain surgery coming up? She's been there for both, but she was 1 and she was like 3.5 for the next. And each time she's always been just different. She's always been just like, God just had this like thing, like this hand on her. He made us all for a reason, and he literally made her to wake me up. Such a heart. And she would just, 1 year old, see me with my head all wrapped up, and she just came and gently hugged me. 3.5 years old, just be, oh, boo-boo, and just kiss, no cries, no tears, no fear. And still today, I go in, I'm talking to her the other night in her bedroom, and 8.5, you think that, she had more fear, and she's just, God's going to watch over you, Mom. She's like, oh, I don't know if it's something with the brain and epilepsy. She has epilepsy too. Maybe God makes us fearless. Maybe he just blessed us both with that, because that's how both of us are. Maybe he blessed me with that fearlessness because of everything I was going to be hitting and growing up in a family that was clueless. I don't know. But he does work wonders, left and right. And I was talking to someone earlier, and it's just that we have to have, especially when we haven't accepted him, when we don't know him, we have to, later on, especially when you look back, if we don't have our eyes open, we don't notice all the amazing things he does every day in our life, big and small. And it's every day. And that's just not even to mention that he died on the cross for us, But every day he blesses us with amazing, amazing things, big and small. It's just that, especially when you haven't accepted him into your life, you don't notice because you're pretty much just living in the world and you're focusing on different things, negative things, anything else except the positive, the most amazing blessings that he has upon us. And even in the midst of crud, every day with all the seizures and all the issues I've gone through, there's always amazing things every day that we have to see. And so if you're going through just strife, just take a moment and sit back and just, look each day and try to see what he does bring out every day in your life, because, we only live once. And if we don't notice that every day, then we're not going to, live a full, happy life. And I lived not happy, not completely to that complete happiness until later when I did realize that. So anyway, just know that, he's always there and he's always blessing you. And you know, it's all for His glory. All trials we're going through, it's all going to be figured out. It's all going to be fixed, and we're all going to be fixed again. And I love you dearly, and I'm excited for February 1st. And just pray for my husband, Christian at Flying Christian. He's dying of anxiety, so send him a tweet or two of prayer. Blessings your way, and I pray that you all have a fabulous Sunday. God bless.